Hi there, my name's Alana and here at Classy on the Run, we love talking about luxury, high-end makeup and beauty. And we are doing Vlogmas, which means I am posting a new video every single day until Christmas, and there's like a little tiny part of me that wants to keep going until the 31st. So subscribe if you want to find out which one I decide to do and if you want to keep on seeing videos like this. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 4 brands that I want to try more of in 2022. These are brands that either I don't have any of in my collection or I just have, 1 or 2 pieces that have really kind of sparked my interest and made me want to dive in deeper. Now, I'm pretty sure I did one of these videos last year and I'm pretty sure that my answers were Dior, Chanel, and Pat McGrath, which I really have enjoyed. I've definitely loved exploring those brands. And so as we wrap up the year, I thought that let's look forward. Let's think about what do we want to try next year. I know that 2022 basically just feels like part 2 of 2020. But here we are. There's always new brands, there's always new products hitting the market. Of course, I'm excited about them and want to try them. But at the same time, as a consumer, I do have a budget. And as a Canadian, I'm very conscious not only about shipping costs, but also about the risk of duties. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So the first brand is actually the last brand that I added to this list. I was planning on doing this video with just the 3 brands I'm going to share after this, but we're going to talk about it. And the brand that has quickly shot to my must-try list in 2022 is Huda Beauty. Now, I do own some Huda Beauty products, and generally speaking, I've thought that they were fine. Not exceptional, not remarkable, just good, Sephora level quality of makeup. In particular, I did enjoy some of her 9-pan eyeshadows, but for me, the brand really fell out of the brands that I'm interested in when she released those sort of neon gem palettes. They just looked really chalky, they were really hit and miss, they weren't a success, and then after that, I feel like a lot of her 9-pans flopped. And for me, look, there's only so much money, there's only so much time in the day, I can only produce so much videos, and I really just can't follow every single brand, despite my best intentions. When Mercury Retrograde came out, I know a lot of people loved it, but I just took one look at it and I just thought that the powders looked really chalky and just unappealing. And that is not the case. So I bought this palette like 3 days ago. It was on sale. It's probably still on sale on Sephora's website. And then I also had an additional 20% off. I think that's the sale on sale that they're running right now. I thought for 35 bucks, lots of people love it. Let's give it a try. So I bought it. I used it yesterday and I was so impressed. Not only were the mattes super creamy and buildable and buttery, which is not normally a phrase that I associate with matte eyeshadows. The shimmers were great. I liked the different textures. Now I still have lots of playing to do with this palette, so let me know if you'd like to see like a 3 looks 1 palette or a review on the palette. I know it's like super late and there's tons of content about it, but I've just been so impressed. And for me, that really just kind of piqued an interest. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm interested in trying every single product from Huda's range, but I'm definitely interested in picking up a few of these larger palettes. Rose Quartz has caught my eye, Rose Gold, Naughty, like basically all of the larger palettes. They're on my Sephora's love list now, so definitely want to try out some of those larger palettes. Will not all be at once. I'm going to keep an eye on her website for sales, keep an eye at Sephora, but over the course of 2022, I'd love to add all 4 of those palettes to my collection, but at minimum, Rose Quartz and 1 other. Okay, so the next brand that has caught my eye is Victoria Beckham Beauty. Now, I have definitely discussed this with some of you guys down in the comments. I think I've referenced it in other videos here and there, but I'd really like to try some of her products. 1, not only do they look incredible, but 2, in my music tastes over the last couple of months and really throughout this entire year, I've been really leaning into nostalgia. I've been listening to a lot of Spice Girls. I love some of the Spice Girls Christmas songs, and I don't know, those 2 factors together have just really piqued my interest in Victoria Beckham. Now, the number 1 reason, to be quite honest, that I haven't really purchased from the brand, it's kind of a 2-part. 1, her products are pretty pricey. 2, I'm always a little bit apprehensive about shopping directly from a brand that I haven't had the opportunity to try in store, because if the formula's not good, if the color's not a good match, I'm always just convinced that the return process will be a nightmare, right? That they're either gonna charge you for returns or that they're not gonna take it back, or that, you know, I just always imagine it's going to be super, super difficult. Maybe that's not the case, but for me, that's always sort of a mental hurdle that I have to get over before I make a purchase. It really kind of catches me in a bind because usually I'm going to want to spend enough to get free shipping, but typically to spend enough for free shipping, that's a good chunk of money. And you know, if I'm making a first purchase, especially online from a brand I haven't used before, I kind of have to view that money as gone. Whether I like the product or not, it's gone. I don't return a ton of makeup. It's not really something I like doing. It's not really something I do very often. But for me, I love knowing that that safety net is there. And I just don't feel that way when it comes to buying directly from a brand. So this problem actually impacts another brand I'm about to talk about. The other thing I worry about as a Canadian for international brands, which is basically every brand, my worry is always, just to be quite honest, my worry is always having duties. So typically for me, when a product is available at Sephora or even Beautylish, but Sephora is usually sort of my benchmark, then not only do I know that the quality is usually pretty good, but I also know that Sephora has a really easy and generous return policy. All of that aside, for Victoria Beckham, there's a couple of products that have really caught my eye. So the first one is her lid luster. So these are sort of just like single, they look like little kind of pot shadows, kind of creamy. Looks like something you'd apply with your fingers. They look super, super sparkly and metallic, like sign me up. And then the next one is, it's called the Smoky Eye Brick. They have it in a number of shades. Haven't really determined which one interests me the most, but looking at her website, I have it on my phone right now, it either says silk or signature. Probably silk, but see, silk is entirely shimmery and signature is entirely matte, and I'd really like the two of them together, but then each palette is $70, and back to the I've never tried the brand before and the price, so I don't really know, but those really intrigue me. I really love the idea of just kind of all of the eyeshadows just in one pan, nothing in between. I think that's fun for blending. I think it's a little bit innovative. I know we've seen Hourglass do that. But yeah, I just think that looks really fun. And finally, I'd say the other thing that interests me is her Posh lipsticks. So I'd love to know if you've had a chance to use Victoria Beckham Beauty, if any of these products kind of speak to you, call you in, excite you. I'd love to hear, because they definitely intrigue me. And like I said, I love the idea of a little Spice Girls revival, love that nostalgia, and her products just look really, really lovely and elevated. And it seems like the style of makeup she makes is pretty similar to the kind of makeup I enjoy. So definitely interested. And I think, you know what, actually I was gonna research this, but if you guys live in Canada or even the US, I'd love to hear about your experiences with shipping, duties, shipping costs, all of that. Because for me, I'd say that's the one thing really holding me back. So I'm gonna be able to save a lot of the spiel I just gave you about the next brand. The next brand that really intrigues me is M Cosmetics. Now, with M Cosmetics, I'm not gonna go through the whole spiel again, but I have the same worries about shipping, return, and duties. That being said, the products that really intrigue me are her 6-pan eyeshadows. So I believe those are called the Divine Skies. Specifically, Magic Hour really calls me in. I think that one's really pretty. And Venetian Rose looks nice as well, but like Magic Hour, it's just been sort of living rent-free in my head saying, buy me, buy me, buy me, order me. $40 US, not like the worst, but as a Canadian, again, I'm always keeping that exchange rate in the back of my mind. Other product from her line that really intrigues me is her Color Drops, which is her liquid blush. Lately, I've been really, really enjoying my Rare Beauty liquid blush, so I'm really eager to try some more similar products, see which one I love. But I just say overall for M Cosmetics, again, I love the vibe. I mean, it's not I think, it's just a fact that Korean beauty as a trend is something that's really coming to North America. It's on the rise. I love the sort of glowy eyes, glowy skin, lighter coverage. I love all of those. So I know objectively that I'm gonna really enjoy M Cosmetics. But for me, again, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the shipping and return risk. So that's a brand I'd really like to try. Again, if you see a sale, for all of these brands, if you see sales, let me know, because I think that's a really great way to kind of start your collection and try new pieces. But that brand has really sparked my editing and Christmas present wrapping Alana here. Okay, so in the time between filming this video, which was like 3 hours ago, and sitting down to edit, one of the creators I follow on TikTok Beauty Reviews Daily blog. She is also from Canada, and she ordered some Cosmetics products that she was really excited about. And she had mentioned there were duties. And so I asked her how much duties. I think she ordered like 5 items, and the duties were 43 Canadian dollars. So that definitely puts a damper on my Cosmetics interest. I might look at ordering them and maybe shipping to my US address through cross-border pickups, but like that, honestly, that is exactly why I'm really apprehensive to order from brands like this, because you don't find out about the duties until the product arrives at your home. And then it's either you pay the $43 in duties, or the $150 worth of products you ordered you don't get, and you don't get a refund. So that honestly is why, as a Canadian, I'm very, very apprehensive about these orders. So back to the video. Now, the final brand that is on my list is LYS Beauty. When this brand first came to Sephora, I was intrigued. I wanted to try it. I was interested. And I specifically, because look, the prices are really, really reasonable. I was sort of thinking I could basically do a full face for like $100 Canadian. Like, what a deal. So that was kind of what I was thinking. But the problem that I ran into, because their serum blush is only $28 Canadian, which is crazy. Like, that pricing, incredible. Oh, sorry, it's $28.50. That 50 cents really gonna get you. Here's the problem I ran into. So I looked on the website and I tried to figure out what my shade was, and I had it narrowed down to 2 that I thought would work. And when the product and the brand had launched, I tried for a couple of weeks around there, and just basically the 2 shades that I thought would work for me were not in stock. They had other shades in stock in Canada, but not my shade. And by the time it came back into stock, I'm just being honest, YouTube business decision, I felt like the hype had kind of subsided. So there was a ton of interest when they first launched, and then there just wasn't. And not to say that people still are interested in the brand, but by the time my shade was finally in stock, I was like, well, what's the point of even buying it to review it? Nobody's gonna watch it anyways. So, you know, the reality with YouTube reviews, when you're doing a single product review on a new launch, the biggest thing that's gonna help your review do well and get seen by people is getting it out quickly. And that just wasn't gonna be possible for me. Anyways, the serum foundation still interests me, as does the blush and the bronzer, both in the cream products. And let's see what else. Yeah, they've got a few other products I'm sure are lovely, but for me it was probably the blush and the bronzer and the little triangles and the serum foundation. So the bronzer I've actually recently been able to pick up through BoxyCharm for $9 US, which is great. Anyways, those are the 4 brands that have really kind of piqued my curiosity over the last couple of months. With any of these brands, I don't really have either any of their products for most of them, and if I do, in the case of Huda Beauty, I have this product that's been in my possession for a day, and a couple of 9 pans that I haven't touched in years. So those are the 4 brands that interest me. Please, 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 my friends, if you see them on sale or you see a mystery box or anything like that, let me know so that way I can start to kind of build up a bit of a stash. Of course, as we head into 2022, we're going to be talking about Charlotte weekly, probably. We're going to be talking about Pat, Natasha, Dior, Chanel, those brands that are really, really core to my channel. But as a beauty YouTuber and as a consumer, definitely love trying new products. And if I find great things, I want to let you guys know. So anyways, that is what I want to try.